Welcome to What the Your Cure for Excessive Happiness. Let's get a preview of tonight's show from James Ilg in the KMVT newsroom. James, what have we got in store for tonight's show?
Houston, this is Control. We are go for launch. Oh, hey, Jim. Yeah, we've got a great show for you tonight. Issue number 1. There's a study that good intentions ease pain and add to pleasure. This must be why some girls seem to care so much right after they dump me. Issue number 2. Does consumption actually make you sad? Or is it that we just get used to things? I think we're just getting used to things, and I think that's also what she told me, too. Okay, issue number 3. Breast implants. Did they rupture? It must be the laundry. Details of 10. Issue number 4. Do you want to date an alien? No, I mean like a real alien, not the ones from south of the border. There's a phone app for you to boldly go where no human has gone before. And that's our lineup for tonight. And back to you, Jim.
Thanks a lot, James. We'll see you at the end of the show. Let's meet tonight's awesome panel, is what I would have said had they not all canceled at the last minute. So, let's meet who I was able to get on short notice. In the far chair, she's so hot, little children are told not to touch her. It's Marcom specialist and member of the comedy troupe Suburban Squirrels. It's Teresa Condon. In the middle chair, it's nurse and fellow suburban squirrel, Frankie J. She's so smart, colleges are now offering a new degree called the FJD, a doctorate of Frankie J. In between them, she's more adorable than a baby panda defecating on its sibling. It's library worker Jenna Christ. Finally, sitting next to me because the ankle bracelet only lets him go so far, it's salesman extraordinaire Scott Birch. Issue number 1. Does the pavement on the road to hell make us feel well? And, let's see here. Is it true when it says this is going to hurt me more than it hurts you? Anyways, University of Maryland psychologist Professor Kurt Gray has a study that concludes that good intentions, even misguided ones, can soothe pain, increase pleasure, and make things taste better. In a series of 3 experiments, Gray had people inflict pain, pleasure, and food on subjects from 3 different people. One would do so accidentally, one expressed malicious intent, the other one with benevolent intent, or regret. In all 3 instances, the subject perceived less pain when inflicted reluctantly, more pleasure and better taste when applied benevolently. The general import of the study is that intentions matter. I think we have an example of the power of good intentions here. Yep, I think if the kitty said I really didn't want to do that, it made the fall a little bit better. Even though I guess they all land on their feet, don't they? Yeah. Anyway. All right. Teresa, you buying this?
This kind of reminds me of the Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know I know that's a little too serious for the show. If you guys know what that is, it's when captors, hostages tend to sympathize with their captors after a while.
Your dating life, right?
Well, I was going to say, the last time I cooked dinner for a guy, I mean, it didn't turn out that well. It was a little burnt. I may have dumped a little too much salt in it, but whatever. So I told him, hope you enjoy it, but I'm sorry if it's not that bad. And he actually enjoyed it. I think he sympathized with the fact that I'm not too used to cooking, so, yeah.
So you buy this, right?
So, yeah, but I know, if I have to let people know, you might not enjoy this that much, and then they'll actually overcompensate and say they enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I believe this.
So when you dump a guy, do you do the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. So
the next day I'll say are you okay? Not that I care.
Not that you really.
But
all right. Jenna, agree or disagree with this thesis?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, if you think someone cares, then it affects your emotional response to something, so it would mitigate the effects.
Have you observed this in your own experiences?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you accidentally hit someone and then you say you're sorry and you feel better.
Or when you fire someone and you start crying?
Or they start crying.
Oh no, when you start crying. See, you ever see that Cheers episode of Cheers where they made Norm the guy who fired people and he'd start crying when he fired the person and then the people would feel better?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay. Well, Norm. Okay. Well, all right, Frankie, you're a nurse, so you inflict pain on people all the time. So Well, I assume not intentionally, right?
not-
Do you use this? Do you buy this?
It is true. If you look somebody in the eye and say, this is just going to stick for a moment, or this will pinch, or you won't remember this when you wake up.
No, that's lying. No, that's lying. If you just express regret that this is going to hurt, does that make it feel better? Does it make it less painful?
Makes you feel you're truthful, then they're starting to trust you.
Right.
And they're like, oh, she's honest. So this, and it's not going to be that bad, and it's okay.
All right. Scott, you're a sadist. So what do you think sadists and masochists would react to this? How do they fit into this theory?
Well, from the sadist lobby, here's what I would say. Whoever put this study together and really took it seriously, all they're trying to do is figure out a way of how they can be screw-ups and get over it. Like, how can I make an excuse for being a screw-up? Sorry, your food sucks. I cooked horribly because I didn't pay attention to the recipe because I don't really care about you. So I'm sorry your food sucks. That's essentially what it is. It's you know what? I have an excuse to make you feel better because I want to be piss poor at whatever I'm doing at that point in time.
But it's an excuse, yes, but is it an excuse that works?
No, it doesn't work on me. Like, no, you get back in there and you cook that or you do better at that. Don't sit there, don't come here and, cry, pour mouth to me like you got some kind of problem. No, you go in there, you suck it up, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and be somebody.
Okay, all right.
Be somebody. Thanks, Scott.
Hey, listen, okay.
Words of wisdom.
You haven't cooked for a guy since, like, the Nixon administration. I know what you're talking about over there.
I don't think she was
And I wasn't. When you say salt, if you mean cyanide, okay, maybe.
At least it's not Spanish fly. All right, you guys know what Spanish fly is, right?
Wow.
Please don't make me sound so ignorant.
Wow.
Guys.
It's not ignorant. It's just,
We'll explain after the show.
we'll have to explain after.
the show.
Okay.
I had no idea you were a virgin.
Anyways,
All right. So what do you guys?
moving on.
Okay, so I'll throw it to the ladies. How do you think sadists and masochists fit into this?
do they? I don't
Works
think they
both ways.
apologize, right?
Because somebody's there wanting to be on the receiving end
Right.
of one of it or the other.
So if you express
So-
regret that you're going to inflict pain on a masochist, would they feel more pain or less pain?
Ooh, very
Just the next time you're
Yeah,
spanking James,
question.
ask him. After he says, thank you, sir, may I have another? Tell him, say, I'm really sorry, bro.
Oh no, you're the sadist. I'm not the sadist. I'm actually more the masochist, but that's because I'm a lawyer, so it's okay.
I don't think I want to know this about your relationship.
No. That's just the word. That's
He's
just,
not my masochist.
all right, I'll leave it at that. Issue number 2, does having it all lead to a depressing fall? Can you be content if you're in the 99%? Psychologists have come up with an explanation of why having a lot of toys does not actually make us happy. Called hedonic adaptation, the theory posits that we get used to things. Oh, I love the posit, that's my SAT word. That fancy new car eventually just becomes a car. That new iPhone just becomes your phone, and an outdated one at that. While we derive pleasure from our possessions, the bottom line is that the pleasure is short-lived, says the theory, because possessions usually fail to live up to our expectations. Speaking of which, so Scott, is that the reason why when I loaned you my car last time, there's a crack in the windshield and there's bird crap all over it?
The monitor's so bad, I couldn't even tell what was happening.
Medium French fries.
Why would you feed a bird French fries? French fries are good.
Well, you missed the point.
Those are rats with wings.
They are rats. Jenna,
Yes.
you buying this?
Yeah. It's funny because we talked earlier about how money can buy happiness, but you get a new thing and then you're like, I've had this thing already, I'm not into it. But then you just have to buy new things. So, you can get over the new stuff. It's not going to the stuff isn't going to make you happy forever, but you just got to get more new stuff.
So is this true for all your possessions?
What are you implying?
I'm not implying anything. I mean, are there any possessions that would be the exception to the rule, that you derive joy continuously from it as opposed to you get used to it and it goes away?
personal questions, Jen.
Not possessions. I mean, people.
Yeah.
I don't get over necessarily.
You don't possess people, right?
But you don't possess people. So items, I might get over
I
them.
do.
Yeah.
I think your boyfriend might have a different opinion on that, but okay.
I don't own him.
Just a part of him sits on just a part of him sits in her
integral
purse.
part.
The part that she's used to and doesn't get drive happiness from anymore, apparently, right? I'm sorry. Teresa, what do you think?
Well, this question and the previous question, these illustrate the fact that there are two types of girls in the world. There's girls like Jenna, who are content with less and practically realize that money can't really buy happiness. But then there's me, who thinks that, yes, in fact, I know money does buy happiness. Things buy happiness.
But did they
Things.
provide you happiness over a sustained period of time?
Yes. I've had lip gloss, really nice lip gloss that lasted a long time and made me really happy. And the Aston Martin, same thing. If I had that, trust me, I would be happy until the day I die.
Or until it breaks down?
Don't say that.
Okay.
I would get it fixed. Don't say that.
You would have like 0
buy a new
miles
one.
on it because you couldn't drive it anywhere because you can't manipulate a stick.
I will learn. God,
See Spanish fly.
Frankie, what about you?
stop
What do you-
confusing me.
I know.
I know what you're talking about.
If I had bought a Hugo, yeah, that probably would have just become something I enjoyed driving home from the dealership, and then that's just the car.
I think
But
that's a
now
Yugo,
that-
not a Hugo. Hugo is your driver.
Hugo.
Hu-
Oh, it's Hugo.
Hugo's your gardener.
Is that the guy that? Oh, it
Yeah,
is.
we won't tell your husband about
Oh
Hugo,
no.
right?
Okay. But I get enamored by certain pieces of jewelry.
Okay.
So yeah,
But-
certain possessions.
But do they
Diamonds are a
keep
girl's best
providing you
friend.
happiness over time, or do you have to get
Oh.
new pieces of jewelry
No-
afterwards?
well, no, the position of where it is just continually pleasurable.
Okay, we don't need to talk about your nipple rings, so
Oh, okay.
but, because we are kind of in the, we're on public access. But anyway, hey Scott, is this just a pretense for taking away all your stuff?
No, it's a pretense that people suck. People love to complain. You get someone like the nicest thing ever, and he's like, I don't like this about it. I don't like that about it. I don't like this about it. People just like to have a reason to complain. I mean, people they feel a need to, people tend to be happier when they're miserable.
Is that your motto in life?
Not necessarily my motto. Might be that way, but that's just an observation, Jim. It's just an observation.
Because again, your single possession is an autographed picture of Happy Days as Aaron Moran, and that seems to provide you endless amount of happiness.
And chafing.
And chafing. That's true. All right. Okay, so we're at the end of the segment. Man, what's Justin Bieber like in bed? Jenna Christ will tell us in her new book, Under the Covers, My Time as a Hollywood Housekeeper, after our next break. It is a nice picture of Aaron Moran. Oh, sorry. Issue number 3. Whether in the bedroom or doing the wash, should your boobs get squashed? If your breasts are silicone, should you be doing stuff that makes you moan? And they said no to rough sex if there's silicone in your breasts. Some doctors for Australian women with ruptured breast implants made by the French manufacturer at the center of a growing scandal say the damage was due to their own behavior, such as hanging out too much laundry or engaging in rough sex. Other diagnoses included overly intense gym workouts, tight bras, or excessive squeezing by amorous husbands. Or Thursday night. Anyways, Australian regulator, the Therapeutic Goods Administration, has defended its handling of the scandal after stating there was, quote, no clear evidence of higher than expected rupture rates outside of France, unquote. What other activity could cause implants to rupture? I'm thinking something like this.
Looking at me. I know you're looking at me. You're looking at me. You're a pervert. There's nobody else here. But you're looking at me. Why are you looking at me? What if I looked at you? You know what I do to perverts like you? Do you know? You're just a pervert! Ugh!
Yeah, I think those are the ones that have the industrial silicone rather than the medical silicone. And if she's the lead plaintiff, they're in trouble. The plaintiffs are in trouble. But anyways. All right. Frankie, you're the nurse. All right. So you buying this or not?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding?
Let me be more
Yeah.
specific. Are you buying the doctor's explanation to the women that
Oh, no,
their own
he's-
behavior is causing
He's
the
an
problem?
asshole.
Or they are collectively wrong?
Yeah, right. They are totally wrong.
Okay.
I mean, any implant that breaks under rough sex, then I don't want to be in that product quality people in that department.
You don't have those implants, do you?
Are you kidding? No.
So you're okay for rough sex?
I'm okay for rough sex. I'm lucky.
That's
I'm
what your
one of the
husband
lucky
says,
ones.
at least.
That's
right?
right.
Okay.
Right. But no, the quality assurance on this product totally sucks.
All right. So, Teresa, you buying this?
I think what was interesting was that it was a French company that made it. I mean, I might have the wrong idea about the French, but that's the kind of thing I think they would be really good at and wouldn't make mistakes making. As for what the women claim, like they're saying ruptures, what would that feel like? I really don't want to imagine that actually, but think about that for a minute, guys. How do they know there's a rupture? I mean, what happens?
We're guys, we don't have big breasts unless you're Scott. By the way, what does that feel like?
Yeah, Scott, what does that feel like?
Well, here's how it feels. When you have breasts, Teresa, how it works is that there is a certain weight that goes on your chest, and that's there. Now, someday when you grow yours, you'll know what that weight feels like, and then Jim will take you out and he'll get you a bra, and he'll teach you how to take care of it. He'll teach you what cup size means. Want to give you a little
You're
3 by 5
confusing me
card?
again.
I know.
They go in letters, right?
Huh?
Cup
I
sizes
think
come
there's a
in letters.
number 2.
There's numbers too?
I think so. Numbers and letters, maybe?
Well, we'll let the fact checker figure
Yeah,
that
yeah.
out. And he'll tell you what Spanish fly
Oh,
is.
James hasn't seen a
great.
boob in like 10 years.
No, but he might still know what it is.
Oh, he does steal bras, though.
There you go. That's right.
And he's on Craigslist all the time.
Like,
Good point.
yeah. Jenna, you buying this?
Yeah, the medical professionals, they piss me off. Like you were saying, that they would make this claim. You know, if you see these women saying they have this problem, and they're like, oh, well, you just were putting laundry up wrong. You were having rough sex. Oh, it makes me so mad at them. But yeah, I could believe it happening.
Yeah.
They would act that
This
way.
is Australia. Why do they hang laundry in Australia? Don't they use a dryer?
No.
No.
Not
Air
us.
is so
Outback.
dry. It dries
Forget
everything.
Outback. I mean, come on, guy. Their most famous guy there, that was it Steve Irwin, whatever that guy who died.
I thought it was Paul Hogan, the most famous Australian. But that guy
Oh,
could
whatever.
be-
He's like 1980, whatever. But like this guy, he died from getting stabbed in the chest by a stingray. You don't see that. See, this is the thing. You know, we had the whole breast implant problem in the United States back in the 80s. Right. Remember the silicone and all that?
Yes.
It's over with and it's gone. And now Australians or Europeans are now dealing with this problem. So should this be an argument against more socialized medicine? The boob implants won't work. There's no quality control because no one's spending any money on anything because it's all just the lowest common denominator.
And maybe the French manufacturer was doing a little payola to the Australian Medical Society.
Could be. I just didn't know that. I'm not sure if cosmetic surgery is covered by socialized medicine.
I mean,
but I'll leave that for the fact checker to
But
figure
it's
it
not
out.
like you can really R&D. You know, you can't really use your money to R&D your cosmetic stuff when you're making no money on your critical life saving
Well, that's
stuff.
what porn stars are for in America. There you go. Anyways, we're at the end of a segment. Issue number 4. Will you look to the heavens for a match for your soul if Earthlings won't touch you with a 10-foot pole? Is it an app for alien seduction or alien abduction? Dating website Local Sin says it is developing a smartphone application to help extraterrestrials and humans find love across the galaxy. The free application will transmit radio frequencies from Earth to other planets across the Milky Way galaxy, helping lonely Earthlings hook up with ETs looking for LTRs. Says Local Sin spokeshuman, quote, it will give normal, broad-minded people the opportunity to communicate with other life forms and could open the doors to universal dating, unquote. Speaking of communicating with other life forms, we asked our dating correspondent, Kat Jones, if this is a good idea. Kat, is it? I'm not sure, but when women say no means no, it's supposed to mean no, right? If cats mean no, does it still mean no?
Was it a girl cat?
I really couldn't tell from the video.
Like it matters, sexist.
I
Anyways, all right. So let's see. I'm going to ask our sci-fi aficionado on the panel, Jenna. Good idea or bad idea?
Dork.
It depends on whether you like being probed.
Good idea or bad idea?
Excellent idea for those without affinity.
So here's the question: how many times have you been probed?
It's awful forward of you. Are you offering?
Not right now. I'm kind of happy with my Aaron Moran card for now. I'm kind of golden. You know what I mean? Besides, I don't know if I won't feel like putting my ship in your galaxy. If you know what I'm saying.
Well, no. Ship in the black hole.
Well, I didn't know we were going that direction.
Or to penetrate the event horizon.
I didn't know everything was opened up like that. I didn't know everything was opened up like that.
Just make sure you go into the right hole this time.
Oh, and make sure you can handle the gravity well.
I better make sure I have a pretty good freaking shield. That's all I'm saying.
I think Trojans manufactured them.
Seriously.
It's red alert. So, anyways, Teresa, good idea or bad idea?
I think this is a great idea. I was talking recently with a friend who's having some guy trouble. She hadn't been on a date in a while, and she just was like, where on earth am I going to find a guy I like? There's the answer. I told her, I was trying to comfort her, and I said, well, maybe he's not on Earth. I was joking, of course, but now I'm going to point her right to this site.
Because men are from Mars and women are from Venus?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's a man on Mars for her.
Okay.
We came from Earth.
Now,
yeah.
Now, I know your sci-fi knowledge may not be that great,
No.
but can you think of a fictional sci-fi character that you would date? Alien.
Sci-fi. The last sci-fi movie I believe I saw was Avatar. Sure, that Avatar guy.
The tall
Because he was human and an avatar, so...
His
like,
blue
he'd be human.
avatar?
Yeah, sure.
You date his 8 foot tall dude?
Sure. I mean, they get to fly on those cool birds and
How
dragons.
big do you think he is down there, though?
Well, he's 8 feet tall,
It's kind of large.
Hopefully it's not proportionate.
but he has
Yeah.
the tail.
Yeah, really.
He has that tail that if you hook it up, you can experience.
So I
what
have
you
to
can
become an
evolve.
avatar.
Or if you have
fine.
if you have a receptacle like that somewhere else in your body for the tail, that'd be
True.
great. But yeah,
It would work out. We'd work it
we'd
out.
work it out. Frankie,
I don't want to go that
would you date
far.
an alien if you weren't married?
Yes.
And what alien, fictional alien
you know
character
what
would you date?
I always, ever since I was a little girl, I heard about the man in the moon.
Right?
So that's got to be some kind of almost looking human, because he's so close to Earth, but really not, because the atmosphere is so thin up there. I know.
Now, Scott, your wife actually calls you Jabba the Hutt. So, what fictional alien would you date if you could?
Well, if I gotta be Jabba the Hutt, I'm so taking Princess Leia. When I was a kid,
alien. She's human.
whatever, dude. How is she human? She's from Naboo, right? Or
She's from a galaxy far, far away. I think it
that's what I'm
counts.
saying.
Oh well, too bad we're out of time. Anyways, so what can you do with the discarded sexual organs from transsexuals? Frankie J will tell us what she learned in Thailand after our next break. That really is a nice picture of Princess Leia on you.
It really is.
Okay. All right, so we are back for our fact-checking session, and for that we join James Ilg, who is in the brand new KMVT newsroom. James, how do we do tonight?
Yeah, still waiting for the strippers, Jim. Hoping they're coming soon. So for the paid segment, so Teresa, you practiced the Stockholm Syndrome with all your dates. I think I want to get with you later and compare notes. Frankie,
Sure.
when you were talking about needles that not hurting much and won't hurt for long, were you talking about medical applications or actually your sex life? We were confused on that matter. Scott, now talking about rejecting your food if they mess it up wrong, woe to that chef who screws up your food.
No, woe to whoever's eating with him, because there's going to be some spit in there, James.
Well, the good news is it looks like it's been quite some time since he's had to reject a meal. Then moving on to their hedonic adaptation, Jim, not hedonic. Jenna, I know your boyfriend, and yes, you do own your boyfriend. Teresa, things that you might buy will give you happiness, but remember, you have to keep on replenishing those batteries. Frankie.
Thanks for the advice.
Good for him.
Regarding that jewelry of yours that you like so much, I know what you're talking about. In fact, I know exactly where you buy those Benoit balls. Scott, now this is where the one where it really flips me here. You're happier when you're miserable. Is it happiness caused by misery? How can you tell? Are you like miserable now? Does that mean you're happy? Are you happy now? Does that mean you're miserable?
My miserable causes me happiness, James.
Ah, gotcha.
His
I see.
Facebook status
But then it
is-
makes
is
you miserable
complicated.
again, doesn't it? Because then you're happy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Yeah.
constant teetering imbalance.
James, it's complicated. Just accept
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I've heard that one before too.
See the word meds.
Implants, yeah. Jim, no, I'm sorry, you got the intro wrong. It wasn't rough sex and hanging laundry. It was rough laundry and hanging sex. I think we need to actually compare breast sizes between Scott and Teresa, just so we know once and for all,
He wins.
you know, who's got the breast.
Do we really want to know? Do we really?
Inquiring minds, Jim. We want to know. Yeah, and cosmetic surgery is indeed covered in Australia. Just think Nicole Kidman. Moving on to Aliens. All I've got to say to that one is, as far as dating an alien, it's all about to infinity and beyond.
So, James, who would be your alien female dating fantasy?
Oh man, that's a good one, Jim. You know, it's got to go back to Star Trek, the original series. You know, that green crazy one.
The Orion slave girl?
The slave girl. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
See, no one ever asked me what mine would be, and my two are the Orosai from Stargate SG-1, but no one watches that. So
I've heard of it.
And the other one is also from the original series, the very first episode that aired. It was the alien that could assume different human forms and needed salt to live. Remember that one?
Nancy.
Yeah.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah, because then she could be anybody I wanted.
Oh,
There you go.
And she had all
Right.
those suckers on her fingers.
Yeah, suckers on her fingers.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
do
would explain all the
remember.
that'll explain all the welts. But you know.
I'm drowning in nerdity over here, dude. Drowning,
Seriously.
bro.
Yeah.
Okay, James, we have
This
about
is
30
fantastic.
seconds left. What do you got? We got anything else for us?
Oh, okay. Then let's see. For Avatar, I believe they did have sex in the movie. I think it was something about their tails being their focus of their sex. Their literal tails. And Scott, finally, yes, indeed, you actually are Jabba the Hutt, as we all know.
Yeah, I know, but now, hey, can we tell Teresa what Spanish fly is? Spanish fly is like this liquid you're supposed to give.
That comes later, yes.
Too bad. No, I guess you'll never
It's
find
an
out.
aphrodisiac. Supposedly an aphrodisiac. But all right. I hope we're okay with time. So, we'll just call it. We'll just call it an early break for the day. How is that, everybody?
Yay.
Good job, James. Good job panel. Good job, crew. Later.